Hey, welcome to today's live broadcast. Today we come together as a community and touch on a subject about intermittent fasting and how we can age as couples. And that's exactly what we are going to focus on today. So if you're new, please take a second to hit that subscribe button on YouTube and that like button on Facebook. That way you'll be notified when we go live. We go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So today, we are going to be talking about intermittent fasting and aging couples and how intermittent fasting can really be that thing as aging couples that you can start incorporating into your lifestyle to make sure that both of you are aging well. So we want to start today's conversation off with a question. Are you practicing intermittent fasting, and is your spouse or significant other also practicing intermittent fasting? And if not, would you like them to? So make sure you answer that question in the comment section because we're going to come back around and get those answered as well. So my name is Diane.
Michael.
And we are married, and we are definitely an aging couple, and we both do practice.
Can you tell by the gray hair?
We both do practice intermittent fasting. I was the one who started intermittent fasting when I started suffering from a lot of the age-related diseases we talk about very often here in our community. And I didn't want to age that way. So I really created a mindset for myself to incorporate the changes that I knew would work for me as far as aging, and that was the lifestyle I was going to live. It wasn't anything that was temporary for me. It was not something that I viewed as a quick fix. I completely overhauled my lifestyle and have now been living this way for the past almost 5 or 6 years. So complete lifestyle overhaul. When I started fasting, Michael was not intermittent fasting. He didn't see any need to at the time. He was happy and healthy and thriving in what it was he was doing and didn't really see the benefits firsthand. But when he started seeing all of the things that were happening for me, just health-wise, so he saw the fact that I was able to reverse my diabetic state. He saw and could feel the brain power come back in his wife, and he saw the confidence come back in me as an aging woman. He started to consider what some of the possibilities were for him. And that's really how we transitioned into an aging couple who intermittent fast. He saw what I was doing. He saw the benefits that I was reaping, and he started to really feel some of my whys for intermittent fasting. And they were really based on how I saw myself 10, 15, 20 years down the road. I stopped really focusing on physique aspects of diet and exercise because the fear of losing my mind before I died was a real thing for me. The fear of being sick and aging was a real thing for me because I was already in it in my late 40s. So that was a fear-based decision that I made, and knowing that I could change my lifestyle to live my life differently as I aged. And I think when Michael started seeing that, and I'll let him talk here in a second, when he started seeing those benefits, he wanted to be on the same lifestyle path that I was on, and that's really when we became the couple who intermittent fasted together. And we want to have this quality of life 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years down the road, and it's so much easier to do as a couple living this same lifestyle than it was even when I was still in the beginning stages and I was learning it and having him live a completely different lifestyle than I was living. So Michael, why don't you share a little bit of your journey and how it is we became the couple who fasts?
Well, honestly, I wasn't really seeing it like as a lifestyle for me. Initially, I was thinking, okay, I see her getting some benefits from this. Maybe I could try doing some intermittent fasting. Never thought of it as like I could live this lifestyle of intermittent fasting.
Okay, and let me ask you a question on that thought. We've been together 20 years. I've been a health and fitness coach. I go on crazy things to lose weight or amp up or whatever I was doing in my younger days to create change in my body. Did you think I was on another fad diet initially?
No, I wouldn't. Yes, I would say like another thing.
Another thing.
Okay. I mean, because we were successful at doing those other things too, but those other things just weren't sustainable. So that was the difference. So yeah, I did kind of see it like as a more of a fad kind of thing, and it's something I was okay with trying, and not necessarily doing it as a lifestyle. But then I started to think, why wouldn't I want these benefits? I know what the scientific data says for this. Why wouldn't I want these things for myself? And as an aging couple, why wouldn't I want to be there longer for my kids, for my grandkids, be there with my wife as we grow old? But you know,
Statistically, what are your chances
my,
about living?
yeah,
me?
my chances, you know, us men, we know, like, we get outlived by the women. So why wouldn't I give myself a better shot, you know, as we age? So I kind of started seeing those things, and started thinking about longevity and my health, that I considered it as a lifestyle when I started practicing it. And when I first started practicing it, it was kind of scary for me because I didn't want to like give up. I feel like I would be giving up a lot of things in my life. I like to eat. You know, I'm a beer drinker, although we haven't been drinking beer since last September, but I like beer. I'm not giving up beer, but I'm not drinking beer right now. I'm a beer drinker. I like going out with the boys every now and then, having a slice of pie. I like going out with my wife on a date night and, you know, having a dinner or whatever. So I felt like I wouldn't be able to live the life I like to live. I wouldn't be able to eat the way I like to eat. So that was a kind of a struggle at first. And then I thought, too, I wouldn't be able to maintain energy throughout my day. So I realized very quickly that those things weren't true. So the lifestyle works. And once I got used to living this lifestyle, I started to gain the benefits from it.
And all the things that you feared losing, did you lose any of those things?
No, not at all, because the lifestyle's flexible.
Right.
And I didn't realize initially that it was going to be as flexible as it is, but it's very flexible because we fast every day. And when I say fast, I mean 12 hours is a fast, 16, 20, whatever it is. But if you're fasting every day, you have room to be flexible. I mean, because like if we wake up and say, hey, we should have a lunch date today, we go do it. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that's restricting us in the fads and the diets and things we did before. We were always restricted, so we didn't have those opportunities to, at the spare of a moment, go, hey, let's go on a lunch date, or you know, you have some college friend coming into town or whatever that you're gonna go meet and have lunch or dinner with. Those things kind of stall you out when you're on a diet, or you're very restricted. Even if it's like a keto diet, I mean, like, you have to stay keto.
And even if you did that, though, if you did it with your spouse, it always makes things easier. So doing it together for us has really simplified the process and really allowed us to dig our feet in even deeper into the lifestyle that we want to live. And I know, you know, early on for me, one of my deep-seated whys, and I do believe if you're going to practice a lifestyle change that's going to stand the test of time, you have to have a why connected to it and not just approach it as a short-term quick fix to a problem that you've never, ever been able to solve before anyway. Right. So you have to have a deep-seated why. So my deep-seated why was, I want to be here for my grandkids. I want to be active and healthy and happy for my husband. And the course I was on was not allowing me to be any of those things as a 48-year-old woman. So what was 60 going to look like if I didn't incorporate lifestyle changes? And then when I realized, wait, this is totally doable, it's totally easy to manage forever, why wouldn't I want my husband to come on board? There were a couple of conversations we had about how we wanted to see our future, how we wanted to live out our retirement days. And I, you know, as a wife, I was like, I don't want to take care of you if you get sick too early. Of course I will when it comes time, and there's things you can't avoid, but like, if there's things that we can do today while we're healthy to change the course of how we're aging, why wouldn't we want to do it together? Why wouldn't we want to make sure that we're not going to burden each other prematurely if we don't have to? And that really is a serious conversation, I think, that should be had around a dinner table or a cup of coffee, is how does aging look like for you? How does it look like for me? And can we be on the same page so as we age, we can support one another? And I think sometimes we age so separately with people that we've worked our entire lives to be with at the end. And this lifestyle really does prove scientifically, we prove it every day just from everyday people practicing this lifestyle, that you can reverse these signs of aging, and you can sit down with your spouse or significant other or your partner and say, how is it we want to age? How is it that we want to spend the next 20 years? And I truly believe you have the power to create that life and have the power to create a way that you can live healthy and age successfully. But you have to do it proactively. You have to have tough conversations. And as women, let me give you some tips about how to get your husband on board with intermittent fasting if he's not there yet. Model it. Model the lifestyle with joy. Model the lifestyle in such a way that your husband or spouse or significant other is going to be so excited about what you're doing that they can't resist being part of it. If you're intermittent fasting and you're complaining, or you're not thriving, or you can't see the benefits, or you can't find benefits for you and how it's improving your life, it's really hard to get someone to jump on board with you. But if you're living it out the way it's supposed to be lived out, and you're looking and feeling your best, trust me, your husband is going to take notice. He's going to wonder what the heck you're doing, and he's going to want to be part of that. And so oftentimes the way we model behavior and the way we're modeling the lifestyle choices that we're making can be so attractive that your spouse will want to be there with you, because it's going to be something that they can get the same benefits from.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, I saw what this woman did with this lifestyle, because she talks about, I know you guys have heard it in this community, she talks about her cognitive decline and not being able to remember our kids' names when she's looking at them. She would say that to me, and it would freak me out. I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, are you, like, what? But yeah, she really was going through these mental challenges and not remembering where she parked her car. I know you guys have heard her talk about that. Well, I was a witness. I was there, and it was scary, because she was, 48? And to be going through something that soon in life was like, it's kind of downhill from there. And then she was, as a health and fitness coach, she was carrying weight that she was no longer able to get rid of, like the way we used to. We used to be able to go, okay, let's kick up the workouts, or let's change our diet a little bit, and things would change. That wasn't happening anymore. It was she was kind of stuck where she was at, and she was carrying extra weight with the cognitive decline. It was scary.
So
and then to see her change it, I was like, okay, like this is for real.
Yeah. So to have him witness that, then he saw, okay, there's something to this, because he saw me so unhappy. Not that he was unhappy that I was gaining weight. He's not that kind of guy. But I was unhappy. I was depressed. I was frustrated. And he's never seen me not be able to get out of that. And I think that's what really scared him and made him take notice too, is when you see your wife come back, right? When you see the happy wife come back, when you see the wife who feels confident about herself comes back, when you see the wife whose brain comes back, like, you take notice to that. And I think as women, if we can set that kind of example, your husband will run to you wanting to know what it is you're doing. And then he ended up just starting it on his own. And he came home from work going, I fasted 20 hours today and it was amazing. Because he saw it being modeled. So if you want your spouse on board, model it. Find joy in what you're doing and prove that it does actually do what you're probably harping at him about, and then they will jump on board with you. And then it is an amazing lifestyle. Like, we're super excited about our retirement years. We have a plan in place about exactly when we want to retire, how we want to retire, and we want to be able to take full advantage of the years that we've worked our tails off to get to. And how sad would it be if we got to that point and we were cheated out of it because we weren't healthy, happy, and active? And so make sure you have that vision for yourself in the future. How do you want to age? And believe you have the power to control that for sure. So I'm going to open it up to our community and see if there's any questions or comments we can answer today. Definitely, intermittent fasting can be done as aging couples. It will help you reap the benefits of aging well for sure. So have the conversation if you haven't had it yet. If you're frustrated with your spouse because they're not practicing your lifestyle, invite them in gracefully and invite them in with love and compassion, and maybe explain some things to them. Maybe you're not explaining it correctly, or maybe you're not modeling it correctly, and then do a little self-check and see if you can show up a little better also. Lori, never catch you live, but have been with you for a year now. Girl, it's so good to have you with us. Practicing intermittent fasting since March, thanks to you guys. Went through the course quietly but successfully as my 85-year-old dementia mom broke her hip and it got crazy. Well, girlfriend, I'm sorry to hear that about your mom. Hopefully she's doing better, and it's okay to go through the course quietly. Just know that we're always here for you whenever you need anything, and I'm super proud of you for being on this journey for so long. That's awesome. You're welcome, JGE. We do nothing but share honestly here, so we appreciate you noticing that and saying something. Debbie from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. July 2019 grad, good to have you with us here. Debbie, does your spouse or significant other, or maybe even some of your friends intermittent fast? It doesn't always have to be your spouse. Sometimes just having a group of girlfriends do it is fun too. Valerie, November 2019 grad, never catch you live. IF and keto like lifestyle has super powered into living a tremendously exciting, healthy life. Join Dice class if you haven't. It's awesome. Valerie, thank you for saying that so much. Yeah, it is an amazing lifestyle for sure. And what we really do try to teach and what we really do try to honestly model here is that it doesn't have to be a burden. It doesn't have to mean you can't do the things that you love. From our standpoint, it has helped us appreciate the things that we love. Man, when we go out to eat, we don't waste time. Like, we never take the risk of having a bad meal. We eat when we eat. We love food. We're not food phobic. We really do enjoy the time that we have together and celebrate around food. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
And nobody says you can't have dessert, but boy, it better be good.
Right? Right? Nancy, how can we stay awake during the day if we're fasting? And at that 14-hour mark, we have 4 more hours to go. So if you're feeling sleepy, I would, there's a difference between sleepy and fatigued. So fatigued often can mean you're not getting enough water. Might mean you're not getting enough electrolytes. I always advise putting like a little pinch of salt underneath your tongue for sure. And then check your sleeping habits. Maybe you're not sleeping deep enough, or maybe you're not getting enough sleep. I would check that for sure. And then make sure that your feasting supports your next fast. So oftentimes we don't think that way. We feast to make up for the time we were fasted. What I want you to do is think about feasting to support your next fast. How will your body be supported by what you're currently doing in your feasting window to get you through that next 20-hour fast? Chantel, are you still eating keto-like? Yes, we do, for sure. We don't restrict anything from our life, but we know now through the things that we've learned through feasting poorly that there's just certain foods that we can't eat or can't eat on the regular, but that's true of anybody. So we really do keep an open window, try to keep a lot of variety in our life for sure. And then Mishimoto, I think it is. I am grateful for you both. I'm 3 months in and feeling fantastic. I'm healthy, 20-hour fast. Good for you, girlfriend. Healthy and feeling fantastic. Those are 2 things we strive for sure. And then Lori, one more thing. I've lost 30 pounds since March. Feel great. 56 years old, 150 pounds now. And new lolly to first grandchild. Awesome. So girlfriend, you're a grandmother. Awesome. You're 51, right? Oh, 56. And you've lost 30 pounds. Like, you're the dream model midlife woman. Like, we love that you are going through all of this and you're living a really healthy life. And that's super, super important. So girlfriend, congratulations to you. And your granddaughter is super fortunate to have you around.
Congrats.
And then Pearl, I'm in the Philippines. This is really an amazing lifestyle. It helped me in my menopausal stage now, and I'm doing this since 2018. Yep, there you go, girlfriend. Menopause is not supposed to be torture. Menopause is not supposed to trip us life. Menopause should be a season of life we look forward to as women, and we really are trying to share that information here as well. Menopause is not a bad thing. I am so happy living a post-menopausal life. So many things in my life have gotten so much easier, and I feel healthy and fantastic, and that's the way menopause is supposed to be. No medication, no hormone replacement therapy, just really healthy living and living as balanced life as we can. So it's possible for us women to live a healthy menopausal life as well. Lisa, hello, girlfriend. Teresa, yes, you and your husband,
hey,
I
Teresa.
know, are both successfully intermittent fasting. I'm so excited for you guys. It took several months for my husband to join me. That's okay. But he's consistently practicing IF now. Last night we were talking about all the changes we've made, and he said, "Thanks, Diane."
Oh, that's
tell
awesome.
your husband I said I'm so proud of him. I know you guys are working really closely together on a lot of things, and I'm super proud of both of you. And I'm glad that he took his time and joined when he was ready. So now, because he joined when he was ready, he will stick with this forever.
Yeah, good job, man.
So I'm super excited for both of you. And Michael says, congratulations to your husband. And they're both in their 60s. And the Angie, hello, I don't like beer or drink any of that. Yeah, that's always a personal choice for sure. And then Carolina, hi, thanks for always answering questions and concerns. I am feasting poorly and I know it. Okay, so you're in my current course. So this next week, we're talking about feasting and making conscious choices. Remember, there's no such thing as bad food and you don't make mistakes. We're conscious. We have the mental capacity to make grown up choices for ourselves. So when you're noticing that you're feasting poorly, it's bad choices. Why? You have to look at why are you making those bad choices. Oftentimes before we know we're making a bad choice, we've already recognized it. So stop yourself at the recognition point and ask yourself, how is this going to make me look and feel tomorrow? And if it's not going to make you look and feel amazing, make a better choice, or make a different choice. We often think about our feasting choices too late. We think about it when we wake up the next morning. And I went through this, Michael will share. We used to go on date night. I would have pizza and a glass of wine, and the next day I was bitchy because I was mad that I was bloated and I was tired and I didn't get a good night's sleep. How does that make my husband feel that the next day after date night, I'm grumpy and feeling bad about myself because of conscious choices I made as an adult woman? So I had to make better choices for myself. And when I went to gluten-free pizza or just had a salad and maybe had one glass of wine instead of two, I woke up the next morning being a happy person. And that's a much better way to spend time with your spouse when you get the opportunity to have a date night. So ask yourself the question before you feast. Don't deal with the situation after. That is way too late. And if you're doing that repeatedly, then we need to have a discussion about why it is you keep doing that to yourself, even though you know it's not working for you. So Carolina, we will work on that in class for sure. Barb, I am just learning about IF with your class. I do take hormone therapy and I would love if I didn't have to do that anymore. So I always say hormone replacement therapy is a personal choice. So you have to do your research, and then I always say make a very conscious decision on the pros versus the cons, and do the pros greatly outweigh the cons. I cannot take hormone replacement therapy because of some family chemistry things that we have going on. I run the risk of blood clots. And so I cannot take hormone replacement therapy. I consider that a gift. I didn't have a choice. But you have to make sure that you understand what the risks are. In case those risks raise their ugly head, are you going to be able to stomach the choice that you made about those things? If those things aren't a problem for you, or maybe you don't run the family risk that I had, it might be the best thing for you. But there's also other ways that you can balance out your hormones in menopause that don't always require hormone replacement therapy. So ask yourself, why are you on it? And are there other ways that you can reduce some of those things that you're not happy with? My doctor wanted to put me on them because I wasn't feeling well or because I was having hot flashes. And I got through all that and I balanced out my hormones, and then I would have been taking hormone replacement therapy for no good reason. And the risk for me was too much for the benefits on that one for sure. So those are those conversations you have to have with yourself for sure. And then Heather, we are new. I took the January 2020 course. I'm fasting 2 to 6. Hubby is feasting 8 to 1. He only fasts weekdays. We come together for supper on weekends. Feels special. Yes. Yeah. And that's the other thing too, right? Like when we sit down to eat dinner, that's an event. That's a thing that we come together at. We do it with our daughter. We eat the same food as our daughter. I used to be the bird at dinner time who would be resentful because I wasn't allowed to eat with my family because all my calories had been eaten, or I was on a special kind of meal plan. And now we all eat the same. We all have the same sort of setup at dinner. Follow me on Instagram if you want to know how we eat.
Yeah, there's some nights we just change it slightly. Like she might have just the sauce on her broccoli or something, and me and Gabby might have chickpea pasta with sauce and turkey meat on it, you know?
Right.
So it's just a slight difference. I mean, not much more preparation for it, but just slightly different.
Exactly. And then Janine, is it normal to have body temp drop with IF, doing more IF in a few days a week with 20-hour fasting, but freezing temp at 96? Definitely not my normal. Think I am feasting right, drinking plenty of water. Yeah, your body goes through.
You feel that.
You went through that too, right?
Yeah,
So it's
you
not
feel
just
especially at first.
Yeah, it's not just a woman thing. There's all kinds of chemical changes going on in your body, and they're not bad. They're just changes. And so as your hormones start to balance out, all those chill things go away until you go into the next phase of fasting, and maybe you start fasting a little deeper, or maybe you went to 16 hours for a while and then you come back to 20. All those things come back. They're not negatives. I always say just bundle up, sit outside in the sun or wear a sweater or something. Your body will get through it for sure, but it's totally normal. If you want the scientific data about why that happens, just Google it. It's everywhere. And then Carolina, awesome. You're welcome, girlfriend. We're getting there. It is about mindset. And this is why we really do try to teach here, and I do, especially with my women. You have to have a healthy relationship with food. You have to have a healthy relationship with your body. You have to have a healthy relationship with what it is you're hoping for yourself down the road for the future. It can't be a short-term decision. I'm going to fast for a week and hope all this body fat and weight goes away. It doesn't work that way. And so we really have to consider all of the components of a lifestyle. Are you healthy mentally and emotionally about how you see yourself? Are you speaking to yourself in the right way? Are you making conscious choices that will make your tomorrow better if you're not happy about your today? And are you incorporating intermittent fasting to just make all that easy? It is a mindset shift, and that is really what we work on here in this community. It's not just about not eating. It's about changing your life for all the right reasons. And then Carolina, I had noticed anything until I walked to my neighbor's and my pants started to fall down, so waist must be getting smaller. There you go, Carolina. So you can't be making too bad of feasting decisions. You're definitely showing some signs of progress, and that is the first thing. Is when you start noticing things like your pants fitting differently, you're going in the right direction. So some of those thoughts that we have about making bad food choices could just be what we think is bad, but it might not be bad. We eat pizza. We eat sweets. We have treats. My daughter makes gluten-free cookies. We eat them. People gasp at that who think that you have to live this perfect lifestyle around food. That's perfect for us. When we start to feel like we're losing some results from the lifestyle that we've created, we don't eat as many of those things. We pull back in certain areas, but it's definitely an ebb and a flow. I don't want to ever say no to the things that make feasting fun. So I figure out a way to make them fit in. And then I ebb and flow when I start to feel like I'm losing control. And then Celeste, do you need to be careful when you break a fast, like nothing too fatty? We go the other way. We like to break our fast with something fatty. So we make a shake and we put extra fat into it. If you break your fast with carbs, sugary carbs especially, that can make you not feel so well. So you have to play with that for sure. There's no one or right way to do it. It's definitely something that has to work with your body chemistry. And then Lisa, I love the mind work. Yeah, the mind work is key for sure. You won't be, if you treat intermittent fasting like a diet or a short-term fix, it will be just that. You will see short-term results, and as soon as you go back to the other way you were living, those short-term results will disappear and then some. It's a diet if you treat it as a short-term fix for something. If you create a lifestyle for your tomorrows, you will always reap the health and the physique benefits that intermittent fasting can bring to you, but you have to create the lifestyle, otherwise everything will just go away for sure. Okay, so we are at a 30-minute time limit, so we're going to call it a Friday afternoon. I hope this helps you if you are struggling with a spouse or significant other, or even maybe some girlfriends. They're watching you. You have to make sure that what you want them to buy into, you are modeling attractively. If you're complaining or frustrated and you're voicing that, they are going to run from you. So make sure that you are doing this correctly so that you can reap the benefits of it. Make sure that you're into this as a lifestyle. So as soon as they jump on, you're not jumping off. That's another big trigger for our spouses as well. We've drugged them into things and then quit on them, and they're all in and we're all out. So create a lifestyle that's attractive, and I promise you, your spouse will come running. They will want to be part of what you're doing.
Yeah, guys, just jump in. Just jump in. If your spouse or your wife is doing it, jump in. And all I can say is it's made everything easier as far as my workouts. I could do strength training in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes and be done. So everything, the whole process is a lot quicker. I feel like I maintain my weight way easier. I'm not doing that yo-yo thing anymore. I'm pretty solid at where I'm at. I mean, I haven't been at this weight in many years, and it holds pretty steady. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of flexibility. So don't think that you're just stuck, like you have to, you're just going to be starving to death. And I mean, that's kind of what I thought at first too. And that's not how it is. It's way different than what you would think that it really is. So just jump in.
Yep. He's a great resource. So if your husbands need someone to lean on or ask questions to, we're here every Friday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bring your questions if your husband doesn't want to, and we'll make sure that Michael gets them answered for you guys as well. It is a great way to go through this aging process, and I'm really excited about the point in time in our future when we actually get to retire and have the time flexibility, the financial flexibility, and the energy and stamina that we have always dreamed of having in retirement. So that's something to look forward to as well. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy your Friday. Remember, if you're working out tomorrow, I always like to say this to my ladies too. If you're working out tomorrow, make sure the decisions that you make tonight will support your day tomorrow. And don't throw everything in the bag tonight and then be bummed out tomorrow. You're making very conscious choices. Make sure you're able to live with those for sure.
Have a great weekend.
All right, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys back here on Monday.